kingdom from the concrete. Overpower, Prodigy. Yeah, the crown is what I came for. Overpower, Prodigy.
So what's up, guys? All right, welcome back. Game 1, Ohio Regional, Season 1. We have Andy and Ricky facing off. It looks like Ricky is bringing something new. Love this. I see no Woo Witch on his side. That a guy. And they're rolling to see who gets to go first. So, on Ricky's side, both very good players. Ricky got the edge in experience, definitely, but Andy is no slouch, and he has learned a lot very, very quickly. So this should be an awesome match. Ricky's side, we got the big man, Herc himself, with Dr. Watson, Anubis, and Morgan in the back. So nice, even 76 threat. No points left over. Asclepieion, he's going to be doing some heals. He's kind of got like a shield wall control style deck. And Andy has an interesting Dracula's Armory deck with Joan, Count, Sherlock, and Jane. So both players only have one 8-ranker, Sherlock being a little bit harder to defend than Hercules, but Andy is fine if the game goes long with those extra basic universes. And it looks like Ricky duped on an 8. He shouldn't have done that. It's better to draw 8 unique cards and not draw a dupe, especially when you decide you're going to go first. So he slaps the other one down on Herc, and Andy counters with an 8 on Joan. Looks like there's a energy teamwork for Anubis. We love that. Morgan kind of backing up that energy grid of Anubis. I kind of like the overlap. His only 8 is Hercules Brute Force, Anubis with the 7 Brute Force, Herc and Watson both with a 6 combat, and then Anubis with a 6 energy, Morgan with a 7 energy. And then they all have kind of middling intellect. I think they all have 5 intellect. Maybe I think Herc is a 4. Looks like a straight avoid, a lion cloak on Hercules. Ooh, Andy has drawn his draw 3. That's going to be pretty big against a non-negate deck. Looks like a power card. Need to make my screen bigger so I can see this. Play something on Anubis. I think that's Book of the Dead. And the Isis 2 multi. Ooh, St. Michael. Andy drawn 2 of 3 Jones big bombs early. Very, very interesting. So Ricky's placed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a dupe. So he's got 2 in hand. Andy's placed 1, 2, 3, 4. Should have 4 in hand. Unless I missed something. Oh, Ricky slaps down Merlin, down to 1. So he's probably, even though he picked first, it looks like he's going to chicken out and run. Can Andy punish? An early Reaper would be pretty devastating if that's Ricky's last card or if he draws into it. He bets 1. Thank you, Rob, for doing this dice counters for those of us watching, especially those of us watching on YouTube with little screens, or me looking at a little screen in OBS. The dice make it very, very helpful to figure out what the venture is. Andy bets 3. Okay, I think this is solid, especially with him being down a card. Kind of have to punish the runaway and concede with a big early venture lead if possible. Now Ricky's doing the math. He's counting. He's seeing, is it worth it to draw this card? Am I going to draw something that forces me where I really want to stand and fight, or do I just want to say screw it? I'll go down 3 missions early, and I'll carve my way back. Now, he is playing Asclepieion, so the point of the deck is you want to be getting smacked around a little bit and riding that line between death and being able to be healed. And Anubis actually has a great card for that. He has the Shepherd of the Damned, where he can, protect some. Okay, so Ricky concedes. Wow, Andy with the big bluff bet in a way. He had the, kind of a bluff. He had the big friend to foe for count. Looks like Ricky had an unusable teamwork. Andy could steal a power card with that, the 8, and throw it at somebody else, Anubis or Watson. So that's a 16-point venture card. And then he also had any hero shift and the Count's Avoid. So he could have thrown an attack into the Count, forcing Ricky to discard as long as that had a combat or brute force icon, which I'm sure his teamwork does. Probably has both of those icons on it. Maybe it's energy followed by brute force and intellect. I have a hard time seeing it from here, but either way, a colored teamwork is going to have one of those icons because it has 3 of the 4, so it's always going to have one of the 2. Andy places something on Sherlock. Looks like a Watson heal. Now that's a really sexy heal card. He can remove a hit from current battle or permanent record. So if he does perm record, he gets the draw and then the attack. Or he could just wipe like 8 venture, like that Joan card away. So even though Andy's down on cards, he still has that draw 3. And Ricky has, I guess he has 2 negates in his deck. He has the Merlin that everybody gets, and then he has 1 for Morgan. Slaps down a 7 brute force on his Anubis. Don't believe either player duped this hand. 2 energy on Watson, debating whether he wants to do it or not. Hasn't taken his hand off it yet. He decides, yeah, let's do it. Watson is a little squishy. It's kind of interesting who do you target here, because like once Herc falls, I mean, he's the linchpin, places a 3 energy ally. But at the same time, like, Watson can suck hits over to himself and draw cards and then do healing, and he's the hardest for Ricky to defend, the easiest to take down. But then you have to deal with those 2 big bombs from Anubis later, the 5/2 multi, which attacks with the top card of Power Pack if it's blocked or avoided, anything except negated. And then he, of course, has the weighing of the heart, aka the Ghost Rider Penance Stare, where target character must discard all place cards and may not attack for remainder of battle. But you know what I love? You know what I love, guys? No Wukong, no Wicked Witch on either side. This is beautiful. We love this. We call this good, fresh Overpower. I mean, these guys are bored of the shifting. Okay, looks like Andy goes 2. He's going to go for the 3-2-2, put Ricky away in 3 hands. We'll see if that works out for him. Ricky only bets 1. He's kind of timid, but he is in. So probably looking to take some hits, get control back of this match, and then flip the script and going here on forward. All right, we have the Few and the Cursed Ally. I'm not sure what color that is. Can't really tell from here, but ally into make an additional. Maybe it's energy because he's splitting his hits. If it was intellect, I gotta imagine that those 2 would have gone against the same character. Takes it. Curious what these players have in their hands. It'd be real nice if Ricky had a Herc 7 or a Freya or something to defend his dudes from this onslaught. So I believe the ally came from Sherlock, so the 4 make additional had to come from either Count or Joan. I cannot see due to the glare. Oh, that's a Joan 4. Joan 4 at Watson. Is he just going to blow through Watson right here? That's the 3rd attack in the chain, and he's going to have 2 more coming. It's disgusting. Should call her Joan of everything, because she does everything. She has speed, she has power, she has defense, she has value. Literally does everything. Although Count and Sherlock are both male, so EFL is losing a little value here, but it does make her a max 9 character, essentially, and then Jane becomes a max 8 whenever she comes up, so. Ricky also has to be aware of that 2 that Andy can throw post-concession, which I'm sure he has at least 1 of in his deck. Although it is his primary suit, so it's not as scary. But yep, he baits the Merlin. I like how Andy kind of flashed it. He put that idea in Ricky's head. You don't want to deal with 2 more attacks after this. He didn't even slap the card down. He just kind of waved it for a second there. Ricky begins to launch the teamwork assault. He does not want to deal with Joan. Ignoring counts. He's already seen one of the bombs and the other one is placed. And ignoring Sherlock the 8 ranker. It's just going for Joan. He's a bit traumatized. My bad on that one. No, a lot of people play Joan and they're pretty gross. 6 brute force from hand, so he still keeps the 7 and 8 placed. That 6 has to come from Herc, which means there is a intellect or combat remaining from Watson. Probably intellect. We'll see. Ricky's debating on a 3rd attack or Andy is deciding what to do. I got no sound, so I can't quite tell. Ooh, for the kill, the 1, 2, 3. And there's the St. Michael locking out all blue from Ricky's side for remainder of battle, which is not the end of the world. He does not have a ton of intellect. Probably doesn't run the Watson 6 without Baker. Ooh, there's the Reaper. So Andy was trying to bait it. He didn't even have to spend his draw 3. It's disgusting. And he calls brute force. Gross. There goes the 8. There goes the 7. There goes the ISIS. 3 for 1. Oh, man. Bet you Ricky's wishing he had... Well, I guess... I bet you he's missing his Wukong with that, that avoid. It's pretty nice. Well played by Andy. He is doing good. We'll see if Ricky can't get himself out of this hole, but he is down cards, he is down hits. Now he is threatening to kill Joan and making her die before EFL comes out and then making her lose that 8 is pretty clutch. So I wonder if Andy might have a big intellect power card he can block with. Ricky says I run, and boom, he snap throws the 2, gives him a decision. Spend the Lion Cloak on a 2, I dare you. Or Herc has 2 colors on him. Gross. He had a 7, a fairy, and a Gemini, so he was down to stay in and brawl. And then Ricky had a select the Slain and a Slaying the Hydra. Both slow cards. Oh, Ricky's in rough shape, but he does have some heal shenanigans coming, so... And then Joan is still painted up. He's got to get EFL out or that 8 off. He's seen 3 cards for Joan, though, so at most there's 3 more. Might be fine with letting her go. EFL's just kind of an insurance package. I mean, he still has Dracula's Armory to Ricky's not, so... Looks like he has a dupe Sneven, or 6. I love that Joker 6 intellect. I don't know why it's a 7, because Joker's a 7, so it should be a 7. But whatever, DC kind of fumbled the bag with a lot of stuff, including their power cards. But it's a really cool power card. Really positive trash talk going on here. I think Ricky had a dupe too. I don't know. I think it's 7 to 7. Ricky's got 1, 2, 3, 4 placed because you don't really count Book of the Dead. 2 Andy's 1, 2, 3. I think Ricky's up a card. I don't like counting Book of the Dead. I mean, it's like, in theory, it's great. I played with it so much though, and like, there's so many. It's just not consistent. Like, you can draw a Book of the Dead at the bottom of your pile, and then you have no more specials left to play of your guys. You could draw it early, and then, not be able to play it because just combat's happening and you don't have a turn to spend and play it. It can get wiped by, like, Ethno by opposing Janes. Like, best case scenario, you draw it early, you're down a card, someone goes down, and then you get, like, 2 or 3 specials out of it. That's, like, best case scenario. Most times it ends up being a 1-for-1 or 0, and it's just too slow, I think, in this meta. But maybe, that's what kind of Ricky's thinking, like, the games he gets it early, then he can pop Watson cards still if he gets gunned down, and Anubis can still play them. So, I mean, ideally, Ricky doesn't want anybody to go down, but you kind of ride that line, like I said before. Oh, he's betting 3. Did he just bet 3 when Andy went for the win? A psychopath. There's almost no situation you want to do that. Give your opponent a card when they're bidding for the win, but let's see what happens. No, I'm sorry. I'm dumb. He just bet 2. EFL, let's just throw a 10. Seems fair. Seems fair. Joan's cool. She's fair. Just chuck a 10, action 1. No problem. Ricky's doing the finger tap. I don't like that. That's what he's thinking. I don't like that. Now, he can at least negate off and heal some of this crap, which is pretty nice. Andy not having a negator will not really be able to do much against all the heals that Ricky has. He might just get rid of it right now with the Watson, because Watson is under threat of death, unless he has Shepherd of the Damned in his hand, but could come another gross string. And he goes for an offensive ally. A 3 at Joan, and if I remember correctly, she has oh, yep, she's dead. Goodbye. Energy, teamwork, and a brute force power card, so just KO'd her. Now he goes for the heal. He does have the one... Oh, I'm sorry. Wow. I'm fired as commentator. He does have an extra negate. He has Sherlock on his team. Doi. So both players have the one extra negate. Still, I think there's a lot more than 2 heals in Ricky's deck, but we'll see. I do like negating that off, not letting him draw an attack or remove the 8 venture. Curious which one Ricky was going to heal off, actually, because it does make a difference. Ooh, there's the 6 from count, the blue tiger, as Andy calls it. If it hits, you got to discard 2 cards. It's disgusting. He shifts it to Herc and plays the lion skin cloak. So he still gets 2 cards out of it, and then that also is a little bit of, less protection for Hercules. Andy's got a lot of intellect in his deck, I'm noticing. A lot of blue. Ricky can't run. He has to fight this out. So he's probably trying to negate off the 8 venture, because he literally has to win venture here. He has taken Joan down, but he still has to win the round. Get some attrition going. Andy's seen 4 Joan cards, so he probably only has 1 to 2 of the 4 make addition allies attack special remaining. It's not really the end of the world, especially if it's not relevant, like if the game ends in the next couple hands and they're at the bottom. Could be very relevant. I guess we'll see. Wants to throw that ally. I think he's out of heal cards, because he would be playing a Morgan heal or an Any Hero heal if he had one. Gunning for count. Ooh, gross. Ally into Creeper. Is he going to blow out all those intellects? Drax Armory cards? Or does he call something else? Now, this is interesting, because Andy only has 4 intellect cards showing, and 3 of them are half cards, basic universes. He's really deliberating over what to call. What does he have that you're scared of? Like a Sherlock 4 make additional? If he had the 4 brute force from count make a face down, he probably would have thrown that before the blue tiger. Probably doesn't have that. Oh, wow. Whatever he called, he got 0. So Ricky went for a ballsy gamble and whiffed the Grim Reaper. Now Andy's going to draw 3 cards. Does not have to reveal them. Rule change incoming. He has a dupe 5. Sucks for him. I don't know if Andy knows this, but I believe he's able to discard either 5, because unless he has one placed to count already. If both are in his hand, I think he can ditch either one he wants. And then Ricky plays the Hades. After the draw 3. Clutch. Clutch. Had a Herc 4, a Gemini, a 4 Intellect. And he had, good lord, Teamwork, Freya, his own Hades, a whole bunch of stuff. That was a pretty clutch Hades for Ricky there. Now he is still on the back foot. He's got to hope Andy draws a Joan card here. Looks like 1 card to 2 cards placed. Oh, he does have a Joan card. Andy drew a dupe 8, so that sucks for Andy. It's a pretty pivotal hand because he can go 2 for the win again, but being down 2 cards really went from being up a card to being down a card, so a 2-card swing. It's pretty rough. Can he blow through Herc before Ricky? And now Andy's used a lot of his premier defense, right? Like his Freya's gone, his Fairy's gone, his Sherlock Negate is gone, his St. Michael is gone. And we've seen 1 Count of Void already, so he might not have much in the way of... He might have a Teamwork Stopper left and his Merlin, but like that's it. Ooh, there's the first Herc 7 for Ricky. Offensive or defensive to protect the team. Protector of Mankind. Badass card. There's a 4 multi. I wonder if he's going to try and string out Herc. Oh, that's going to be tough with the double 7s. That does telegraph he doesn't have an 8, but he drew 2 of them his first hand, so Ricky probably is not going to get his 8 till the end, maybe. Is that another Intellect ally? Andy's going ham with the blue. There's a combat ally. So he's got 2 allies. Does he have food for them? You can't play those allies if you don't have a special to follow them up. Which might be very relevant here. Ooh, a preternatural healing. Now, if Andy has to run here, that's bad, because then Ricky can just immediately begin the round with a heal, draw, and attack, and freshen up either old Dr. Watson or Herc. Very interesting. I don't know if Ricky has anything left he can place. I also wonder if Ricky's still running Heimdall or if he finally converted and switched to the Fairy. And he goes 1. That's a huge tell. He's going to try and run away and then bid 3 for the win later. Now, again, Andy's kind of fine if the game goes long because of those basic universes, but you can't let a damaged Asclepieion get initiative on you, because then they're just going to heal, draw, and attack, and they just have a billion cards. And most of your card advantage stuff is gone unless you can land another blue tiger. Ricky was really backed into a corner, but that clutch Hades play immediately after the draw 3 was so well timed. I think he's shaken Andy's confidence. Ricky bids 2. He likes it. I take that back. He bid 3 because Andy's not going for the win, so he really likes it. Both Reapers are gone, so you don't have to consider that anymore. Teamwork. Does he have the stop a teamwork, or is he going to have to use all these Snevins to stop these 4s? Should be annoying. Ricky is deliberating. Oh, wow. He plays the suck it to Watson draw card. Sacrifices Watson. Draws a keeper. Interesting. Curious what cards he's running for Watson. How many of those heals? How many of those take an attack and draw? But he lets him go. Teamworks can be pretty crazy. Got to spend your own defense to fuel them, you know, power cards, but if you don't have that disorient opponent, just 1, 2, 3. Now, interestingly, he goes for, oh, because it's energy. Goes for Anubis, trying to paint him up, and then goes for a something. I can't tell what that is. Is that Robin? Looks like intellect to me. I don't think it's a kill shot. Doesn't Herc have a combat and an energy on him? I mean, intellect and energy? Maybe he has combat and energy. Maybe it is a kill shot because he does block it. If I'm Andy, I'm probably running soon because you're going to hope he draws another 7 or a Herc 7 and dupes on those. Now actually might be a good time to get Book of the Dead in play so that you can play it if Andy runs next action. You can save a Watson card. Goes for the heal. Wants to keep Herc up. I don't think there's anything big left coming from... Maybe he can't stop an 8. But a blue 8 wouldn't KO him. Interesting, he heals the intellect attack. And draws. And Herc gets to... Oh, it's a dupe Protector of Mankind. Rip. Hadn't seen any until this point, so... Probably running 2 or 3. Probably 3. 4 make a dish from the Herkster. And a Snevin. Oh, the 1, 2, 3 takes count out. And then Andy runs. So he did have Shepherd of the Damned to stop a kill shot and a 6 left, so... I kind of like playing Book of the Dead there, but killing count, like, that's still great, so... And Andy had a 3 combat remaining. Ricky has kind of turned this around. He hasn't seen either of his Morgan cards. He was, you know... I guess he was up Joan, but almost no cards remaining. Then he lost his Watson. Still probably wants to win before Power Pack unless he can take a huge advantage. There's a count card and a dupe 4. Andy has not drawn very well this game. He's had lots of duplication, which is unfortunate. He should try not to do that. Looks like Ricky's got a fistful of keepers. I think that's an 8. Curious why he's running the any power, with Herc being the only 8 ranker on the team. Maybe he has the event that turns any power to brute force or something. But I mean, why not just have, I guess, Reaper protection? It's kind of the raisin. Ooh, there's the weighing of the heart. Andy has the Sherlock pin. It's like a reverse 1v1 me, bro. Like, you and me, we will sit out. We will not fight. And the Morgan heal. Gross. Ricky got some bombs. He's ready to go. Places a 3 to the Witch, Morgana Le Fay. Morgan's so awesome. Probably my favorite character in ERB. Awesome on the front line, awesome in reserve. Some banger 1 per decks, and makes up for her only weakness, no venture, by being able to chain into other allies' cards, including reserve or KO'd. Ricky deciding how much to bet. And again, he's got through a lot of that defense, so Wang of the Heart would just be nasty. Unless Andy has exactly his Merlin, which I think is his only card left in his deck that stops that. Looks like a bid of 3 again. 4. It's a psychopath. And he draws 2. Dupe 7. Sucks. Sucks for him. Not for the win, but a very pivotal hand. And he bets 1. And runs. He has a 3, 5. Ricky has the Anubis 5, the Fairy, and the Freya, and a Shepherd of the Damned. With that full heal, nobody was dying. I understand why the chaotic bet. And he was like, nope, no thank you. I'm out. And now all of a sudden, both players have a venture advantage. Ricky just needs to go 2 for the win now, whereas Andy would need to go 4 for the win. And he also hasn't been able to use any of those basics to get up and over an 8 or anything like that. But Andy draws an event. Oh, summon a basic or training. And they count to venture if used to attack. So, he hasn't used any, unfortunately. Maybe he's running the 5 training. I think Ricky's looking through his deck just to see what he has left because he's allowed to at this moment. Counting his Watson cards, something like that. Power cards remaining. And he grabs a training. Rule change incoming. He's going to have to reveal that soon. Should have to reveal any specific fetched cards. And he has 3 unusables. There was a 3rd Joan 4 and 2 count cards. And when Ricky sees 3 discards, even with Andy hitting that event and that extra half card, oh, he does have a dupe Protector of Mankind. Still plus 1.5 on top of a placement and character advantage. I think it's probably going to bid for the win here. Andy can't even really play that Sherlock pin because if Wang of the Heart comes across to Jane, then he would be locking out his last character left to attack. Ricky just needs to win venture at this point. He doesn't even care what happens to his dudes. He's got the full heal and draw. Oh, Andy has another duplicate. Ricky's doing the final count, but I think this is a bid 2 and push. Try and do a final push for the win here. It's always good to double check. I mean, there's no, like, pressure or time crunch. They got 17 minutes left before last hand is called. I think I see a Merlin in Ricky's hand. He's got to be feeling pretty good. Yeah, 2 for the win. And Andy goes the obligatory 2. Always bid 2 if your opponent goes for the win, because either you lose the game or you win. So if you win the venture somehow, you want to at least maximize and get at least 2 missions. Chuck in a teamwork. Let's start it off with a 6 ball. That poor old Sherlock. And there's an 8. How about that? You like that 8? Here comes the first Drax Armory card, and he trains up a something to block it. Does he throw a third? Does he throw from Morgan? Throw the tree? Kind of smarter, Ricky, to dump his power cards if possible. Maybe even that Protector of Mankind before he does the full heal and draw, because he doesn't want to draw into a dupe. It's kind of increasing his odds here. Yep. Chuck the 3. All that matters is venture this hand anyways for him, so. And he throws the Few and the Cursed ally, I think. These cards are awesome, but I don't know what they are. Can't see them on the baby screen. And then he goes for the pin. Very interesting. Because... oh yeah, he's pinning Anubis. So if Anubis can't attack, he can't throw Wing of the Heart. Duh. Clever. Just pushing it on to the future, though. It's future Andy's problem. Current Andy has plenty of problems, and future Andy now has problems. Ricky kind of also wants to throw specials only as a kill shot in case that offensive negate's on the other side, because then Andy could play ally into the offensive negate. I don't know if we've seen any yet to heal off some venture as well as fuel the ally. He's got his own Hucklebuck or whatever the hell that card's name is. 3 combats at Jane. EFL's still out, so that's pretty nice, but... ooh, there's a Snevin. Stack it. I hope Ricky realizes he can still attack Sherlock. Sherlock cannot attack. So 4 at Anubis. 4 make a dish. Takes it. He trains up. Oh my god, gross. Is that a 3 multi? It's coming across as a 10 because of EFL and the +5. Oh, that's disgusting. Is that a kill shot? And it counts to venture this battle. Oh, that was so awesome. Just went up and over the 7. He's like, yeah, my Herc's fine. No, he's not. He's freaking dead. And he does have the Merlin to stop the negate. Or stop the heal. Literally didn't even think about it. And that training counts to venture. Damn, what a clutch round to draw that event. Now, Ricky might still have it, but Herc going down is certainly like a ruh-roh shaggy moment. Looks like he's at 19. And Andy's at 4, 8, 9. Yeah, he has a lot left. 5, 6, 7. So Ricky just... I think Ricky wins. Ricky takes it down. He just had almost the phone book. What a game, though. That was such an awesome KO at the end by Andy. He almost like has a spiritual victory in a way by doing that. Because Ricky's like, what? But yeah, he just can't compete with the raw numbers. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, I really like Andy's deck, but it's definitely awesome, like KO pressure wise. And he's got a lot of tricks, but the count doesn't bring a lot of venture. Sherlock doesn't bring a lot of venture. Joan brings reasonable venture, but that's about it. And I mean, Watson brings pretty good venture for a frontline 16er. Herc brings plenty. And Anubis is kind of on the low end. But, I mean, I think a lot of this game was the duplications and unusables. Like, Andy just kept going down like 1 to 3 cards. And Ricky that stacked with Asclepieion meant that Ricky could really capitalize on it. But I really like both decks. They're still both very awesome. Andy's deck is definitely my style, like that KO style, throw egregious attacks. And it's awesome. But yeah, it does have some venture problems, You can see right off the get-go there. But that's Overpower. There's good draws, there's bad draws. They kind of happen as you go both ways. And He unfortunately just was down too many cards, and that clutch Hades from Ricky, that was so awesome. Like, draw 3, okay, I run away. Hades, reset the missions. And then from that point on, Ricky managed to like flip the game because Andy had it early. He had this game in his, in his jaws, ready to go, ready to end it, but Ricky, pulled the comeback. So we'll have to see how he does the rest of the tourney. Asclepion's a very interesting and fun deck that's very dangerous and has gotten me many, many times with that exact strategy. They just, all right, beat my dudes up. It's fine. And it looks like you just have them backed into a corner, but then they get extra vicious and enter a frenzy and start healing stuff and drawing cards and just ripping your guys back apart. And pretty crazy. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Oh, hi, buddy. Hey there. Want to say hi? Thanks for watching episode 1, Ohio Nationals. Got a lot more games and footage to cover. Go ahead and give me a like, give me a subscribe. Let me know if you would have, you saw anything interesting you would have done differently. I think both players played very well, but always curious to hear your guys' thoughts and which deck you liked and, any other good plays you noticed, that sort of thing. So go ahead, drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Till next time.